Uganda police has vowed to stand any intimidations from different authorities concerning the raid made on different private hospitals, which saw over 850 COVID-19 vaccines recovered. This follows an amplified call for apology from different suspects, like First Pharmacy, where police allegedly confiscated 803 COVID-19 vaccines. However, First Pharmacy has treated the police investigative reports as baseless.
What we are seeing is that there is that attempt by some of the pharmacies that were involved to try to correct their image. There's a lot of negative propaganda that is going on, showing that some of our officers could have been transferred or negatively impacted on, which is not true. There is no transfer that has taken place. Our officers from the Directorate of Crime Intelligence are still active and expanding investigations.
Despite the public outcry over COVID-19 vaccines, which is supposed to be free of charge, it is alleged these private pharmacies were selling the vaccine between 100,000 to 300,000 Uganda shillings to the selected class of people.
We want to go back to some of these health facilities where these empty vials were supposed to go back, because we believe there was conspiracy.
In Mbale district, a health officer was arrested over stealing an oxygen cylinder from the government hospital. Cherotich Jacobo is alleged of taking advantage of the current oxygen crisis in many government health facilities to channel the not-for-sale oxygen for personal self-centered motives.
We had one oxygen cylinder, but we believe that the owner of the pharmacy, known as Nyongesa, who is an employee of Mbale Referral Hospital, has a lot of accountability to give us. So we are still working with the Ministry of Health officials to first establish in the inventory of the oxygen cylinders.
In the ongoing enforcement of anti-corona guidelines, police have arrested over 1,429 suspects in the last week, impounded several motorcycles and vehicles.
A total of 1,429 suspects were arrested for flouting the anti-COVID-19 measures. We impounded 376 motor vehicles and also impounded 3,655 motorcycles. Other areas of impunity and disregard for the health SOPs and protocols were in bars and some of the hotels. Despite the devastating situation, there are people who still lead reckless lives and even ignore the harsh reality that we are actually facing. So we are very ready as the joint security agencies to deal with such COVID-19 offenders and defaulters decisively by continuing to issue fines, penalties, and further sanctions where necessary.
Police, however, has played down allegations implicating many of its officers in extortion scandals in the enforcement of the partial lockdown on inter-district border movements. However, the force mouthpiece was quick at recommending local support despite of the public outcry on operational commanders in breach of the presidential directives on partial lockdown.
We know is that there are some border riders who organized themselves, and they were helping in policing the border sector. If you can notice, a number of borders had stopped carrying more than one passenger. Wherever they were getting somebody with 2 passengers, they would try and use the local support initiatives to impound and forward to the police. The same applies with the taxi operators. They have also been assisting our traffic enforcement team in ensuring compliance in the transportation of passengers within the Kampala metropolitan area.
In other related investigations, in Hoima district, in the Badekera Juliet, a head teacher of Yana Day and Boarding Primary School and other teachers were arrested over conducting lessons in disregard of the presidential directive on the closure of schools. Abdul Nasir Lubwama, UBC News.